We're going to be ranking every Premier League club season.
These are the tiers. We're going to be ranking each club based on their expectations.
Simple enough, let's go.
I'm going to be honest, we can get some fodder out the way.
Get the fodder out the way.
Some
are very easy decisions.
Let's get the delete clubs out the way.
Delete clubs. All right, so
Ipswich, we're deleting.
Ipswich, are we deleting? Okay, yeah, we're deleting.
They got relegated.
We're deleting. All right, Leicester, we have to delete.
Where is Leicester?
We have to delete Leicester. And Southampton, we have to delete Southampton. Look,
where are they?
As harsh as it is, yes, all promoted clubs, but they all just didn't really put in a fight. Relegation battle was over very soon. It was kind of obvious, even just halfway through the season that all three were going down.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really, we don't even need to say anything. Yeah. Is what it is, bro.
Let's go into Arsenal.
If people have been watching our videos, I've been dogging Arsenal a lot. But let's really think about this, yeah? Mm-hmm. Second place again, but triple second place.
Yeah, no, treble of second place. Yep.
Semi-final CL.
Semi-final CL.
They're calling that a trophy, but at the end of the day, it has been a long time since they've made the semi-final.
Yeah, no,
so in terms of expectations, were they expecting to reach that?
No, I didn't expect Arsenal to reach the semi-final. So. No.
Were they expected to win the league, though?
They were low-key expected to win the league. They were low-key expected. No one expected Liverpool to have the season they had under Slot, and many people predicted the City fall-off. So many people...
Many people?
Yes, many people.
I don't know about that.
Many people. No, that's true. Did we not predict Arsenal would win the league in our prediction?
No, I agree.
We did.
I don't know. A lot of people were saying City was going to contend. It was going to be a tight race. But
some people said, City were still going to be up there. But at the end of the day, many people said Arsenal were going to win the league. Their expectation was to at least be close to winning the league, and they weren't. They were low key in a top 4 battle. If they had gotten a couple more bad results, they would have been in that mix.
But just because of the CL, they knocked out Real Madrid in a fashion that no one really predicted.
Yeah, no, that's memorable.
They did put up somewhat of fight second leg in PSG against PSG. PSG was obviously the better team. Would I say it's a great season?
I'm not saying it's a great season. I'm saying, no, it's a well done.
I think it's a well done.
It's a well done.
Like, if you think about it, you'd be like, you know what? That's a well done. That's well done.
Yeah.
Well done, son.
They had a meaty summer transfer window. Didn't even really do business in winter either. So it's like a well done. All right, you hit the semis, nothing more.
Okay. I'm okay with this. Next up, Aston Villa. This one pains me a little bit
because
I was early on the Villa train way back when people were clowning me last season. They were not going to finish top 4, this and that. They didn't make it to top 5 this season, bro.
They didn't, bro. They choked it. Let's be honest. They choked it.
Back end of the league, they were pretty bad. Call it as it is.
Thing is, Villa were very hot and cold this season. They started out pretty hot. Then Emery went on that horrible run. Remember when City went on that horrible run of 13 games, no win? Villa were low-key going through a horrible run at the same time. I think they went 9 games without a win. Then they picked it up, of course, Champions League. They were cooking in the Champions League. Everyone was applauding them. And then the Prem form picked up as well. They were in that Champions League race. They couldn't. It wasn't enough, bro. There's too much competition. Emery choked it. He's back in the Europa League where Emery belongs, really. And look, at the end of the day, no, it's true, bro. I mean, isn't he the manager?
Sit here and act like
he's the manager that won it the most.
PSG against PSG, a remontada.
No, I'm not saying their Champions League run was bad. I'm not saying that Villa deserved to be in the Europa League. I'm just saying Emery is he's a Europa League.
No, but this
serial winner. He's a serial Europa League winner, bro. So he's back in his competition. He's back in his favorite competition. It just is what it is, bro.
No, this season convinced me that Emery can play with the big dogs.
No, 100% he can. I'm not saying I'm just saying his history with the Europa League. I'm saying his history with the Europa League is evident. Obviously, he loves that competition. Did well in the Champions League, fair play, but it was just going to be too fairy tale for them to go back to back. Just like Newcastle were in the Champions League, then they spent a season out of it. Now they're back in it. Villa are going to do the same thing. They could be back in the Champions League next season, 100%. I'm saying this is a well done season as well. It's a well done.
But are we being harsh, bro?
How are we being harsh? It's a well done.
Did we realistically think Villa was going to be in the quarterfinals of the Champions League? No. Okay. I don't even think we thought they were going to get out of the qualifying
stage.
Don't
do that. No, I predicted they would get out of the group stage, 100%, or the league phase, whatever it was.
They made the semifinal of the FA Cup. They were in contention for 4th place at almost the entire season, bro.
No, but their standards have increased. Well done. They have a great squad. They have a great squad. They have a great team.
Yes, I understand that, but their standards can't just increase in the span of one season, mate.
Yes, they can.
Why?
Because what do you mean? They're a Champions League club now.
I'm saying this season, from it can't just drastically increase.
Bro, they made Champions League last season.
I understand that, but beginning of this season, no one was expecting this, bro.
No one's expecting what? To make the Champions League quarterfinals?
Yes, Champions League quarterfinals, FA Cup semifinal.
Okay, no one was expecting Arsenal to make the semi.
But
we put them in well done.
Continuous seasons back to back to back of pure dominance.
Whoa,
in second place.
dominance is nuts.
Second place.
Yeah,
dominance.
second place dominance. Makes
But I'm
sense.
talking about Villa, mate. They were calling last season was fluke Champions League. This season, I guarantee you, heads were not thinking they were going to pose a big threat at all. Bro.
No, I think, bro, they missed Champions League, and it was top 5.
It was down to the wire,
and it was
though.
top 5.
But it was down to the wire.
It wasn't even top 4. It was top 5, and they missed it. This is a well done. You can't put them in great season.
Mate,
You just can't.
I think this might be a great
even
season.
Even if you ask Villa fans, was it a great season? They're gonna say no. They're gonna be disappointed.
But if you asked them in the beginning of the season, would you want what had happened this season to be the actual season that they played? They would be like, yes.
Look, I'm sure.
That's great
I'm
season
sure a lot
for
of them are very happy with their Champions League run, but at the end of the day, they missed out on Champions League. I think Villa fans.
So okay, so you're saying Aston Villa is a big player now? It's a big club.
They've been a big club.
Okay, mate.
been a
Obviously,
big club.
historically, yes. But I'm saying like, oh, they're a big game player. Like they're big time now. They're supposed to win. They're supposed to make CL every season now.
Well, no, they. Well, no,
Stutter. Keep that in.
No, I'm not keeping that shit in. Well, no, they could have been big time, but they missed it on Champions League. They bottled it.
Mate, okay, we'll put them at well done, but great seasons from the boys at Villa. Honestly, like I don't know,
Bournemouth,
mid-table club.
Mid-table.
They finished mid-table,
this is a great season for Bournemouth.
but there was a lot of highs.
This is a great season for
There
Bournemouth.
were a lot of highs.
I don't see how we can not put them in great season.
But for what? What did they finish? Mid-table?
Just like the football they played, bro. And the players that are breaking through Bournemouth, like Real Madrid just bought a Bournemouth player. Like deep that. When has that happened? Ever. So it's like, this is just a great time for Bournemouth fans, for Bournemouth in general. Iraola is cooking. Players are cooking. They have lots of expensive assets now. They can't really ask for more. It's Bournemouth. It's Bournemouth. You can't really ask for more. It's Bournemouth, bro.
We recognize all of their highs, but it's one of those clubs where we don't actually look at their lows, bro. They were shocking back end of the season. Same with Fulham this season, honestly.
They had, at that point, they had nothing to play for though. Once they lost contention for Europe, it's like, okay, the mid-table clubs genuinely just don't have anything to play for, so you can't really hold that against them.
I kind of can, mate. At the end of the day, they finished 9th.
That's pretty good. Top half for Bournemouth it's a great season.
Great season. All right, fine. I'll give it a great season. It was either well done or great season. But Brentford.
Ooh, okay, Brentford.
2 strikers of theirs, probably, 18 goals, 19 goals?
19 goals for Wisa up here. Like, wow.
And Mbeumo 20 or something?
I think
he reached 20,
I think he might have hit 20. Nominated for Premier League Player of the Season.
Sneaky good. Lost their boy in Ivan Toney.
Easily replaced
by people that were already in the club. This is a great season.
Is it a great season though?
Why? Tell me why.
Like,
Tell me why
I don't
it's
know.
not a great season.
Brentford definitely. See, we were talking about the lows of Bournemouth. Brentford definitely had some lows.
Yeah, in the beginning, and then they increased. They scaled up. They gave a lot of good football. They produced a lot of good football.
They scored a lot of goals. I think they were one of the highest goal scoring clubs in the league this season.
It's just one of those teams, bro. You don't recognize the lows. You don't really recognize the highs either. They're just there in it. I think it. Would you say it's well done? Would you say it's I wouldn't say so. Like, well done?
I'd say it's well done.
I would probably argue this is probably one of their better seasons, you know? They finished 16th last season.
No.
Yeah, 23-24, mate.
Not fair. Brentford had a much better season this season.
Yes,
much better season.
I told you. One of them ones.
10th for Bournemouth. I mean, for
This
Brentford.
is a great season, bro. Like, you can't complain. From 16th to 10th, that's six places.
From an entertainment standpoint, like, they were 5th highest goal scoring club in the league. 2 top strikers.
Not a lot coming in terms of transfer, I don't think.
All right, man. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this is up to you. I don't mind either well done or great season. This is a bit tricky. I think if we're putting Bournemouth in great season, might have to keep the same energy.
Brighton. I think this is well done.
What?
I think it's well done.
Brighton finished 8th. That's like exactly where. That's a great finish for Brighton.
Yeah, it
bro.
might be a great season.
It's a great season.
It might be a great season.
Like Hertzler, first season.
Young manager.
All these
always
new
a target
players,
on your back if you're a young manager.
True. There's all these new players as well. Like, they spent a lot of money, to be fair.
They did. But it's hard to spend money and jail at the same time. You saw with Nottingham Forest way back when.
And I swear Brighton had mad injuries this season. So many injuries.
Toma was injured, I think, for a bit.
Joao Pedro was injured for a while. Danny Welbeck was injured for a bit.
Danny Welbeck, 10 goals this season.
He had 10 goals for the first time in his
digits,
career,
you know.
which is
Double
crazy,
digits,
which is a bit mad.
Great season. I don't think there's much else to really say about them.
Yeah, I think all these clubs, like, they had great seasons for what we expected.
I said it, like, again, in one of our other videos, bro. It's just one of those ones where it's like the level of every club raised. Like, the median level all raised. That's why we're seeing United and Spurs struggle so much.
Yeah,
bro.
but the ceiling has still fell. Chelsea. The history of Chelsea's transfer windows.
It's a great season, mate.
With the history of Chelsea's transfer windows, like, every season we're expecting them to get better and better and better. They keep spending money. The players are getting more experienced.
But no one expected them to reach
That's
CL.
not true. That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
That's not true.
Many people.
Did you expect that?
I don't remember what I put them. I probably put them outside the Champions League spots, but
Is it fifth place tax? Is there an extra spot in the CL taxing this?
No, I don't think that should tax because at the end of the day, the CL spot is a CL spot. They are in the Europa Conference League final, yet to play.
Is the caliber of team in Chelsea make it the Conference League final like a big thing?
It's not a huge factor. It's not a huge factor because
right,
their path. I don't think their path was very.
What?
difficult.
So you're saying it's well done?
No, I think this is also a great season. Yeah, I think it's also a great season,
isn't it?
Yeah, it just like
it's a building block, bro. Maresca's finally there.
They needed it. They needed Champions League.
They're
100%.
finding their feet with their players. I mean, they're doing right business by sending Sancho back.
Yeah.
Ooh, hold on. Next up, Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. I think there's only one spot for Crystal Palace, bro. There's really only one spot, and that's S. This is an S tier season. First trophy in the club's history.
70 plus odd years, right?
70. I think it's more. It's like 100. It's like
I thought
100
it was
plus.
70 plus.
I swear it's like 100 plus. And not only that, but their league form, 12th place, not bad considering the start they had in the season. Remember the start? Everyone was questioning Glasner. It took them ages to get their first win. I think they got their first win against Spurs. Pretty late into the season. It was like 2 months into the season they got their first win.
I think they were 20th at one point.
No, it was bad. Their start to the season was terrible. Everyone was questioning Glasner. Then he just, flipped a switch, bro. Completely changed
flip
it.
Switch was us seeing them at Selhurst Park.
Facts. We went to
Selhurst.
We watched 2 Palace games in London, and their season was just snowballing, bro.
We didn't even want to see them. If I'm honest, we didn't even want to. But the Eagles fans, they welcomed us in.
Yeah.
Finally won an FA Cup with style. I will say it
Great
wasn't.
goal.
No, I'm talking about the season in general, like the way that they played football. Fair play, Mateta, Eze
had an unbelievable season.
Making me a SAR believer finally at some points. Like, bro.
Yeah, he had a pretty good season as well. I mean, it's an S-tier season. Fair play to Palace.
S-tier season. Everton.
Ooh, okay, Everton. They started out the season very poorly. Relegation questions with Dyche. He had to go. He got the sack. Moyes back in. Moyes returned. And then things kind of just calmed down. They started to pick up points. They stayed up safely.
Well done.
Nah, I think it's an still, though.
Why is
it's
it
still an
What
still an
position did they finish?
13th. I mean, that's 13th, not bad.
Mate.
It's not
that's
bad.
Well done.
It's not
bad.
bad.
Think about last season, bro. They were fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their lives this season, bro.
They were fighting for their lives last season.
Moyes changed things a lot, bro.
He did.
They were playing decent football with Moyes.
And I think the Everton fans deserved a season with not stressing on the final day.
I'm saying that's a well done season, mate.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's great because,
Fairs.
Is what it is.
Nah, it's well done, Everton.
It's well
13.
done.
Yeah.
It's well done. Fulham.
Ooh, Fulham. You know what, bro?
This might be my first
This might be my first as well, bro. Because it's just like...
It's a lot of hype going into that season.
The expectation of Fulham last season, very high because they played very well. Lots of players in form. Marcus Silva was cooking. And I guess it was kind of the same this season, but I would say it's because there just wasn't much improvement, if at all.
They finished very poorly. They started the season very strong. The game we went to, Crystal Palace versus Fulham,
yeah,
they just swapped positions, bro. They just traded places.
No.
Like, I'm not even trolling you. That was the moment.
Palace absolutely bopped them at Craven Cottage. It was a no contest. They played terribly. And honestly, since then, bro, their form has been dead.
This is
an S season.
Next up,
Liverpool.
S.
Great season.
You wouldn't say S.
Why is it S?
Aren't a first year in charge? Kloppless Liverpool.
Advantage Liverpool.
Don't do that. Don't do that now. First place in the table of Champions League. Got unlucky with PSG.
Unlucky? I don't know about unlucky.
In terms of the draw. Yeah.
Oh.
Hella unlucky with the draw. This is an S tier, bro.
No, remember, we're not just doing Premier League. Did they win anything else? No, they got knocked out of League Cup. They got knocked out of the FA
Premier
Cup.
League is
the
very
Champions
big.
League was very, very underwhelming. They won at Parc des Princes and then lost at Anfield. They got dominated against PSG, who everyone, by the way, Liverpool were the favorites for that tie. Remember, everyone was fearing Liverpool. Everyone was saying, yo, Liverpool, Barcelona, favorites for the Champions League. Don't forget that. And they was underwhelming. Yes, they won the league comfortably. Fair play. First season under Arne. Salah had a great domestic
29
season.
goals, 18 assists for Salah, mate.
Hold that. You're
Hold
never
that.
touching that assist record.
Hold that.
You're never touching that assist record,
He can
pal.
hold the 18
You're
assists.
never touching
yeah,
that
he can
assist
hold
record.
18 assists,
Nah,
mate.
hold that.
Like, what?
Hold that. Didn't touch 30
Mate,
goals
this is an
either.
S tier. This is an S tier season, bro.
I don't know if it, dude. Remember,
Think about it, bro. They won the league comfortably.
S tier.
Is it their fault that the league sucked? No. Did it come down to the final game week? No. All right, so they did their business, bro. They did their thing in comfortable fashion. I think that's S worthy, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
fine.
Yeah, fine.
Manchester City.
Expectation. I'm talking about coming into the season,
Right.
not first half, second half season expectations, buddy.
Okay.
What are you doing? This might be
No,
Delete
it's not a
Club.
delete club. It's
Mate,
not a delete club.
Do you not remember the embarrassment that you guys did in the Champions League, bro?
Embarrassment?
That stint from Premier League to Champions League in that matter of 2 weeks, you didn't win a single game in 12 plus matches or something.
It was like
Delete your club.
No, it's an It's an S.
That
season.
is delete
It's
your
an
club.
It's not a delete club because we made Champions League.
Mate,
We made Champions
oh
League
my
in a very
days.
and the FA
Do you
Cup-
understand?
we-
You guys
wait,
won a
hold on.
treble recently.
We made a final,
Four-peated. You guys four-peated.
a final, and we made Champions League spots.
Oh, so you're happy about the season?
No, I would have been more happy if we beat Palace in the final, 100%. It would have been a much better season. Obviously, I'm not happy with the season, but it's an season. It's not a delete club.
It was an S season if you finished third, second.
We did
No,
finish
no,
third.
no, no,
Hold
no,
that. Yeah.
That's not what I
It goes into Right, we finished third.
Oh
It goes
my
into
days,
We
man.
finised third. It goes into Hold
Pep,
that.
bro.
Hold that.
Oh my days. Whatever, bro.
Manchester United. Delete club.
Why is okay? Hold on.
Oh no! Don't do this. Don't do this.
Bro.
Don't do this.
Hold on. Why is Man City and United delete club?
Because Manchester City made a final.
So did they. A bigger final, probably.
No, FA Cup's bigger than Europa
No.
League. Yes.
Whoa, say that again. Say that again.
FA Cup is bigger than Europa League. No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
Mate, are you
No
nuts?
doubt about that.
Are you nuts?
FA Cup is the A-level tournament in England.
So you're saying Crystal
Europa
Palace,
League is a
you're
B-level
saying
tournament.
Crystal Palace had a better season than Spurs.
Yes. Yes. What? Yes. 100%. What are we talking?
Game is gone.
Game is gone.
Game is gone.
Game is gone.
Fully
I don't
gone.
think that's
Game is
controversial at
fully
all.
gone, mate.
I don't think that's controversial
The
at all.
game is
Palace had
fully
a better
gone.
season than Spurs. Yes, they did.
Game is
Yes,
fully
they 100%
gone, mate.
did.
Unreal. Oh my. days.
City are an because they made a domestic final. They made Champions League spots. Yes, they didn't win the league. Okay, that was expected, to be fair.
But think about it,
They
bro.
didn't. They made the knockouts of the Champions League. Got bopped. That was expected.
Was there high expectation that Ten Hag would compete with top four in the beginning of the season?
No, I did not put them in my top four. I did not expect United to make top four.
Okay, then.
Okay, did I expect him to finish 15th? Did you expect him to finish 15th? 15th place? Are we deeping where United are in the table?
All right, fine. Delete club,
Oh my
bro.
God, bro.
Delete club.
42 points.
All right, relax. Dang.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Well done. Sneaky well done.
What?
They made Champions League.
Great season.
Why is it great?
First trophy in 40,
Oh, yeah.
50
All right, fine,
years.
fine.
It's a great season.
Fine, bro. Fine.
Is that
Great
maybe
season.
it's an S? Maybe it's an S. Hold on. Are we?
Sneaky S?
It's a sneaky S,
Might
bro.
be a sneaky S.
First trophy
I'm not mad at
in the
that.
club for who knows how long, half a century, and then Champions League spots in a competitive league, bro.
Sneaky S. No, I'm not mad at
Back
that.
to Champions League. Eddie Howe. People were doubting Eddie Howe. People were saying he's cooked. 8th place last season, yeah? Back in Champions
He is
League.
cooked. He is cooked.
No.
He
He's
can't get
proving
them.
the haters wrong.
Mate, he's reaching the level he already reached, bro. Like he's getting to the cap and then he's falling
No,
back
he's
down.
making Newcastle a consistent Champions League club. That's a huge achievement.
Yeah.
He inherited
That's
a
his
relegation
cap.
side.
I'm saying that's his cap.
No, we'll see what Newcastle
I've
does.
been said
We'll
that's
see.
his cap.
Let's see what Newcastle
And
does in the Champions
if they
League next
want
season.
to exceed more, they've got to get a
Remember
different coach.
Remember how they got robbed in the Champions League last season, bro.
Robbed?
Yeah, robbed.
We
Let's
got
see.
robbed last season.
No, let's see what
Milan
they do
got
next
robbed.
season.
Milan
I'm
got
interested.
robbed. Forest,
Ooh,
great season.
sneaky S. Sneaky S.
I would say S if they made. They didn't even make Europe.
No, they did. They made Conference League.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's
Yeah,
not Europe.
it's disappointing because of how well they were doing in the table. It looked like dead certain that they would get Champions League. Yeah, they fell off toward the end.
They needed one game to solidify Champions League, right? It's great.
It's such an almost season. It's just such an almost
It's a great
season.
season.
Yeah, it's a great season.
Spurs,
Delete club.
the elite club with a Europa League. Are you retarded?
This is difficult, man. I'm saying
I think it's well done.
I'm saying
Mate, they won a trophy.
I get that, but it's just
It's Spursy,
it's so clouded by
it's not
the
clouded
deep
because
that
everyone
17th.
but everyone knows and just chalked the league up.
17th, blood. 22 losses in the league.
Mate, there was a span of like 12 games that Van de Ven was healthy and he wasn't getting chosen because he was prioritizing Europa League. Mate, I'm telling you, this is well done. Lots of injuries. I mean, Ange was on the hot seat. He aura maxed with that quote.
Yeah, okay.
Solidifying it. That's well done.
That is the craziest quote. The balls to say that as a Spurs manager at the beginning of the season and deliver is insane. Fair play.
This is probably one of their best seasons of all time.
Oh my god!
Just deep that.
Finishing one above the relegation league. That's crazy.
It's true though. It is true.
Okay, fair. I mean, yeah, they won a trophy for the first time in like 17. What is it? 17 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has
well
to be.
Done,
well done.
Well done.
Well done, I guess.
West Ham.
This is an season, bro. Remember the summer transfer window they had? Remember everyone was gassing them. Brought in Potter. He saved things a little bit.
But my days, they're stinky.
They're stinky, and they're terrible to watch. The only bright spark is Bowen. Did you see the goal he scored last week?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, bro. Season.
Season. Wolves is last, but not least.
Last. Okay.
I think it's, dare I say, well done.
What?
Expectation?
This is very much an It's almost a elite club. It's almost an elite club. Because, bro, they finished 16th, 42 points. They were terrible. Yes, they were one of the worst defensive
They were
teams
bad,
in
but
the
they were
league.
16th. They finished 16th. They could have easily gotten relegated.
Yeah, they were on relegation form with Gary O'Neill. Got sacked. Good choice, I guess. I mean, even though I kind of still rate Gary as a manager. Brought in Vitor Pereira. I mean, just kept him up. That was his job. Kept him up. Bright sparks for Cunha and Ait Nori this season, but other than that, it was dead. It's an season for me. It's damn near a delete club.
I think it's a solid
Okay. I mean, they're an
Do we want to do any orders here?
Are we doing orders? Yeah, we can do orders quickly.
I think United stays last, just in terms of expectations.
Yeah, and then Southampton. Leicester might be second
Ipswich
to last.
is first in terms of almost going to
I think switch Leicester and Southampton. Yeah. And then Wolves, West Ham. I think City's top of Yeah, like that. Spurs is... Whoa, no. Spurs stays bottom, well done. They stay bottom, well done.
Over Everton.
Bro, yes.
No, they won a trophy.
Oh, my days. Dude, what is this trophy hype?
What's this trophy hype? As if it's not the whole point.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
If you ask every Spurs fan, they'll say it was a great season.
All right, so did Spurs have a better season than Arsenal?
Depends on who you ask. I think yes.
Okay, then let's move them. Spurs above Arsenal. Arsenal, Villa, Everton, fine.
Yeah.
Forest. I think low-key Forest got to move atop a great season.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that. Bournemouth might need to come down.
No, I think Bournemouth is ahead of...
Conference final and Champions League.
All right, and then Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford.
I think this is all right.
No, I think Newcastle switched Newcastle and Liverpool. Yeah, that works for me, bro. I think that's accurate.
Or would you be trophy? Is Carabao? Carabao's not as important as FA Cup,
no,
I would say.
Not.
All right. There's your list. There you have it.
Perfect tier list, in my opinion.
Let us know what you guys think. Who had the best season out of any of these clubs?
Hit the like button. Sub up. Catch you next time. Peace.